Before you plant a tree in your yard, there's something you need to know. That beautiful little tree sitting in a nursery container, it looks completely harmless today, but in 5, 10, or even 20 years, it could become the biggest problem on your property. Roots can crack your sidewalk. Branches can tear down power lines. A tree can block your windows, take over your entire garden, or start damaging your roof. And the most frustrating part, all of this is completely preventable. Look, the biggest mistake homeowners make isn't choosing the wrong tree. It's planting the right tree in the wrong place. So before you dig that hole, let's go through what you absolutely need to know. Because once a tree is established, you can't just move it. First, don't judge a tree by its size today. This is the most important rule, honestly. When you're at the garden center, it's easy to think, oh, it's small, I have plenty of room. But that small tree isn't gonna stay small. A tree that's only 6 feet tall today could become 30, 40, even 60 feet tall. And its canopy can spread just as wide. Imagine planting a tree 5 feet from your house because it looks fine. 10 years later, the branches are scraping your roof. The roots are pushing against your foundation and your driveway. And suddenly, that beautiful tree has become a very expensive problem. So before you plant anything, find out its mature height and its mature width. Don't plan for the size you're buying. Plan for the size it will become. Second, look up before you look down. Most people only worry about roots, but you gotta look up. Power lines. Everyone forgets about power lines. A tree planted right under a power line might look fine for years. Then the canopy hits the wires. Now you have a tree that needs constant, aggressive pruning. And during a storm, those branches can become seriously dangerous. Same thing with your house. Think about where those branches will be when the tree is fully grown. Will they be over your roof? Will they block your windows? Will they clog your gutters? You don't want to find out 10 years from now. Third, roots need space too. Here's a mistake I see all the time. People think a tree only needs room for its trunk. It doesn't. A tree's root system can spread 2, even 3 times wider than its canopy. That's why planting a big tree right next to a sidewalk, patio, or driveway is asking for trouble. As it grows, those roots will lift and crack everything. Now, that doesn't mean roots will automatically destroy your foundation, but it does mean you need to give it space. The bigger the tree will get, the more room you should give it. You need space for the canopy above ground and for the roots below ground. Fourth, know what your soil is like. You can do everything right. Choose a perfect tree, plant it perfectly, water it perfectly, and still watch it struggle. Why? The soil. Some trees need well-drained soil. Others can handle heavy clay. Some love acidic soil, others don't care. And drainage is huge. If water sits around the roots for too long, the roots will literally suffocate. So before you plant, just check your soil. Is it hard and compacted? Does water drain quickly after it rains, or does it stay muddy? Is it mostly clay, sand, or loam? Even a cheap, basic soil test can save you hundreds of dollars. The goal isn't to make your soil perfect. It's to pick a tree that will actually love the soil you already have. Fifth, sunlight matters more than you think. Don't choose a tree just because it looks pretty in a photo. If a tree needs full sun and you plant it in deep shade, it will never reach its potential. It'll be weak and leggy. And the opposite is true too. A shade-loving tree will get scorched in intense afternoon sun. So watch that spot in your yard. How many hours of direct sun does it really get? Does your house create shade in the afternoon? Are there bigger trees nearby that will block the sun as they grow? Remember, your yard isn't static. It changes over time. Sixth, don't ignore your climate. Just because a tree looks amazing in your neighbor's yard or in a picture online doesn't mean it will work for you. Temperature, rainfall, humidity, winter cold, summer heat, it all matters. That's why hardiness zones are so important. Before you buy, check if that tree is actually rated for your zone. A tree that thrives in Florida might die in the first winter in Ohio. And think about wind too. If you get strong storms, a weak wooded tree might not be a good idea. Picking a tree adapted to your region is the easiest way to succeed. Seventh, think about maintenance before you plant. Here's a question almost no one asks. How much work will this tree be when it's mature? Some trees are super low maintenance. Others, not so much. Some drop messy fruit. Some shed bark everywhere. Some need constant pruning because they have weak branches. That's not a reason to avoid them. It just means you need to know what you're getting into. The most beautiful tree in the photo might also be the one that needs the most work. Sometimes the best tree isn't the most impressive one. It's the one that fits your lifestyle. Eighth, be careful with fast-growing trees. Fast growth sounds amazing, right? Who doesn't want privacy or shade quickly? But there's usually a trade-off. A lot of fast-growing trees have weaker wood. They break in storms, some have super aggressive roots, others just don't live very long. I'm not saying never plant a fast grower. Just don't choose a tree based only on how fast it grows. Look at the whole picture. How big will it get? How are its roots? How strong is it? How long will it live? Often, a tree that grows a little slower but is strong and healthy is a much better investment. And finally, think 20 years ahead. This is the one question I want you to ask before you plant anything. What will this look like 20 years from now? Not next spring. 20 years. Will it still fit the space? Will it be blocking your windows? Will it be in the power lines? Will its roots have enough room? Will you still be happy you planted it right there? Asking that one question can completely change your decision. Because planting a tree isn't just decorating your yard. You're creating something that could be there for decades, for your kids, even your grandkids. So at the end of the day, there is no single perfect tree for everyone. The best tree is the right tree for the right place. It depends on your climate, your soil, your space, your sunlight, and what you actually want from it. Maybe you want privacy, maybe shade, maybe beautiful flowers. Whatever your goal is, start with the location first. Then choose the tree, not the other way around. Because a tree planted in the right place becomes one of the best investments you'll ever make. It gives you shade, beauty, privacy, and character for decades. But a tree planted in the wrong place becomes a constant headache and expense. So before you grab that shovel, just stop for a second. Look up, look down, check the soil, check the sun, check how big it will really get. Because the little tree you're planting today is not the tree you'll be dealing with tomorrow. And that's something every homeowner should know. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing to Plant Realm for more tips that save you time, money, and a lot of frustration in the garden. And tell me in the comments, what tree are you thinking of planting? I might be able to save you from a very expensive mistake.